Okay, you guys, we have Patricia Lente Crane on. And Patricia, you know full well that for you and I feel like you're the history that's taking place at DDPY. You've been there through so many changes. So I feel like you're the version that tells me what all I missed before I started in 2022, right? But so everybody can see I'm keeping to my promise of that 15-minute interviews, but I need you to know everything that you still want to know more about Patricia. Make sure and leave it in a comment today so I have her back to talk about something that you feel like she didn't get to maybe fully share. And Patricia, I'm going to quickly do a screen share because I want to make sure that they see this before you even share. So here's one thing. And when you're talking mindset, I think of you always, Patricia, because you have you have overcome so many things and done so many things with your life, that this is just one of those amazing things which are part of your story. But I love how you also posted the words, "No one's happiness but my own is in my power to achieve or to destroy." And that, just that mindset alone that you refer to, is part of what I think makes you you, right? Is the fact that you actually do embrace the responsibility that you have. And here I have, of course, that same scene where you're at this island. You can obviously share with them what that is, but I know to both Dallas and Paige, you are more than a friend. You're part of their family. Dallas has made that very clear to me that you're family. So share with us what your thoughts are, what you'd like the 55 plus to know about your journey, my friend.
Well, I think they may have heard the story from the beginning. If not, I'll give you a 30-second version and we can go back. But I went to Cancun in July of 2019. A friend of mine, Rob Barfield, who actually built the PC, owns a construction company, couldn't go. And on a Wednesday night, he said, "You know Dallas, Page?" I said, "No, I know Dallas, Texas." He said, "Well, I'm supposed to go on this yoga retreat and I can't go because of work and I can't get my money back. And you're the only person I know that has a passport and can buy a ticket and leave Sunday morning. So go." Talked to Joy and the group the next day, decided this is crazy. I've never done yoga. I have no idea what's going on. And then the other side of my brain said, it's a 5-star exclusive resort, all inclusive with alcohol. If you don't like these people, how bad can the resort be? Go. So I went. I'm on the same flight with Dallas, but I don't know Dallas. And we're waiting for the limos to pick us up. And Dallas is talking about mileage on Delta. And he says, but Delta has this class called Flying Colonel. You have to be invited to join. And it's this ultimate flying thing with Delta. And he said, I've never even met a flying colonel. And I'm about 5-6 feet away. And I say, I'm a flying colonel. And he looks at me and he goes, who are you? And I tell him, Patricia Lenti Crane. He goes, well, what brings you to Cancun? I said, your retreat. He goes, wait a minute, you're coming to my retreat and I don't know who the F you are?
That would be Dallas.
That would be Dallas. So he said, you got to get in the limo with us. The next morning, I showed up for a class and he put Crystal one-on-one with me. And I was exposed for the first time to what DDPY was all about. I think everyone's seen the clip with the knee on the ankle.
Yeah.
Monday, put the left ankle on the right knee, no problem. Put the right ankle on the left knee, couldn't get it up above 3 inches. And Crystal gives me a towel, says, that's it, that's it. And all these phrases are staying with me. DDP meets you where you are. Don't try to pick up that leg. Don't hurt. Stay where you are. The next day I go back, it's a little better. On Wednesday morning, I could put that right ankle on the left knee. And the tears just flowed and flowed and flowed. And I learned unequivocally that this crazy stuff works. And it works.
It does. It does.
And I'm fortunate enough to live about 10 miles from the PC. Well, when Dallas saw the tears, he said, "We're going to work with you." And I was honored enough to work with Pat McDermott and Garrett Sakahara, and they literally created this monster. And the rest is history, because it is NSVs, constant little NSVs. And they've all seen the quote about, but the big key was the day I could get up off the floor.
Yeah. And that's a video clip. I'll have to put that link here below here, because I do want them to see. I'm going to make a note to myself. I do want them to see that.
Well, that literally changes everything.
Yes. When you have the mobility to get up off the floor.
Yes. And something happens mentally when all of a sudden you are controlling your body, you are controlling your movements.
Yes.
And it's something that only can be felt as people go through the program. And everybody has their own, what I say, awakening moment.
Yes.
But it's there and it's real. And I would challenge people to share that one awakening moment. Mine was the right ankle on the left knee. But I'm sure we all do, and I would love to hear their awakening moments.
Yeah. I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever, because I had no mobility when I started on January 20th of 22. I literally had to take a golf cart across the street, right? But I remember one point, several months in, and my mom and I were sitting in a lobby of a doctor's appointment waiting for her to get in. And I crossed my legs like a woman crosses her legs. I looked down and I thought, whose legs are these? And my mom, 95 years old, looked over at me, goes, "You've crossed your legs." I'm like, I know. I mean, it's like where on the journey it happened, I don't even know, but it was just a casual thing of crossing the legs, and you're thinking, this stuff is powerful. Yeah.
It's scary powerful.
Yeah. And you had another, like what we would call a setback even this last year, and proved it to yourself again, didn't you?
Well, it was a year ago, August 6th, that I was in a rush as usual, fell down 3 stairs at home and fractured my femur. We've talked about that, and the key really was I didn't get back to my house till November 1st. It was emergency room, hospital, rehab, and assisted living. And yet every physical therapist was amazed at my strength.
Yes.
And I said, well, I could do a 2-minute plank. And the physical therapist said to me, I can't do a 2-minute plank. How do you do a 2-minute plank? I said, well, you do a 10-second plank, and then a 20-second plank, and then a 30-second plank, and on and on and on. But the other key was, and this goes back to what Dallas says too, you've got to do the work. Physical therapy was 3 days a week. And so much of what they were doing was in Dallas's workout, in the chair workout, and in the bed flex. And I would do all my physical therapy exercises a second time alone, and then I did them every day. And the physical therapist said, you'd be surprised, people only do the physical therapy 3 times a week when I'm with them. And I said, now let me get this straight. I see you 3 times a week. I don't do anything for 4 days a week. How do you ever get ahead?
Exactly.
And he laughed. But it's those simple things. And it took like 15 minutes to do the physical therapy workouts. Yeah. But it enabled me to go from 6 weeks to where they thought I would be in 12 weeks.
Wow. Wow.
And it was amazing. And then when I got me on a walker, for the first 6 weeks, It was a chair, the wheelchair, and the bed. And I was literally in a cast from my ankle to the top of my thigh, and that was it. But once I could be toe touching, still in the cast, I could be on a walker, and my upper body strength was amazing. You couldn't hold me back. I was hopping all over the place and going outside in the gardens and out to lunch. But again, it was so much that I owe to DDPY. It is a part of your life. And when something like that happens, it causes you to reflect back and realize how much of a part of your life it really is.
Right.
I started back at the end of November working out.
Yes.
And of course, my goal was to get back to the 2-minute plank.
Yeah.
That would mentally tell me I was where I was. But at the end of January, and Mike Lackey posted it, I hit the 3-minute plank.
I tell you what, you have inspired Mike. Did you hear his interview last week? He mentions you and Ted and how much that group of you guys inspire him every single week.
Well, and by the way, Ted just turned 90.
I know. I love it. Ah.
And I wasn't going to let this out, but Dallas did. I just turned 80.
Oh, yay.
And here's another setback that happened. On June 28th of this year, I got the call that a growth under my arm that had been biopsied was cancerous.
Oh, wow.
It was 22 years ago on June 28th that I got the call that the lump in my breast was cancerous. I had my breast cancer surgery, my lumpectomy, on my birthday 22 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I had my cancer surgery this year, the day before my birthday.
Oh, my word.
So I'm good for another 22 years.
Exactly. So
exactly.
We look for it somewhere after the 100 mark, right?
Right. But why I'm sharing this with you is that was on July 18th. And then on July 25th was the summit. And I was completely bandaged under my arm and couldn't raise the right arm, couldn't do anything. So here I am at the summit, and instead of doing touchdowns, I'm doing raising only my left hand. I could work from the legs down, but I couldn't do anything with the whole right side. Right. So so Dallas, of course, had to tell everybody at the summit why and that I was bandaged and, what was happening. And yet I still showed up and was there. And then 2 weeks ago, I had the stitches taken out and everything is good. And I had my follow-up Friday and everything's clear and everything is good. And we're on our way again.
Oh,
but it's the mindset, Pam, it really is. But the summit, the energy, the enthusiasm,
yes,
and the empathy,
yes,
of 130 people. Yes. Literally, we had people from Sweden, from France, from London. I mean, and that having been there, you can't contain it. Yeah, it's it touches your heart and it touches your soul. And it meets you where you are. And the outpouring of love and concern from everybody there when Dallas told them, about the cancer and that. And it shows you the community that we have created. That's right. And it's the most non-judgmental community in the world. Yes.
Yes. Oh, my word. Oh, my gosh. I cannot believe we're coming almost on to the 15-minute mark, Patricia. But I have to tell you, you mean so much to me and even my husband, because we got to go out to dinner with you last year together. And I can't thank you enough for just the rock you are in DDPY. I can't thank you for even your transparency of the warrior journey you've been on. And I hope you'll come back on. You guys have questions for Patricia about what those journeys look like. make sure and leave a message here, and we'll have Patricia back and she can answer maybe some of those, how she did on each one of those things. But Patricia, you are a real jewel in the DDPY family, and I can't thank you enough for taking your time, sweet friend.
Well, I'm honored, Pam, that you requested the interview. I
Oh,
look at the town. One of the things they did this year for the first time at the summit was they did a personal panel,
yes, yes.
and people told their individual stories, and it just brought tears of joy to everybody in that room. But and the reason I say that is not so much the stories, but the willingness of people to share with each other in raw honesty.
Exactly. It's how we move forward, isn't it?
But that's the inner strength that keeps feeding you to keep going and going and going.
Yeah,
Um,
it's powerful. Well, I love you, sweet friend.
and
Thank
as I said to someone there, you can't explain this to anyone.
Yes.
You have to feel it
Yeah,
to know how real it is.
exactly. Oh my word. Thank you so much, sweet one.